Welcome back, everyone, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded series. Today is going to be a random Tainted Character run for win number 2 and episode number 326. Your question for today, put your answer in the comments down below, is going to be, do you think that esports should be taken as seriously as regular sports are? Why or why not? A Tainted Job run. Oh, baby. This is going to be a good one. Seed, by the way, is going to be 27G1CESW. That is if we don't die in the literal first room we walk into, because we only have a total of 1 heart between 2 containers there. So it's going to be a bit of a rough one to start off here, but when the ball gets rolling, oh boy does this ball get rolling. Anyways, though, I asked this question for, obviously, as always, a very good reason. It's kind of a hot debate in schools right now, because there is a plethora of colleges and other kind of tertiary schools offering scholarships for people who are good at certain video games. And it's kind of raised some controversy, at least where I was from in my high school. There was kind of this big debate of should we funnel this much money, oh baby, into esports, as opposed to regular football, track, cross country, things like that. And I think, honestly, I'm gonna probably Custodia that and then take this to destroy every boss in the future of our run here. It seems like a good idea to me personally. But it was kind of this big hot topic because a lot of kids thought that esports was not deserving of the same kind of repertoire as soccer or football is. And I'll admit I was torn for a while as well, because I think we're super conditioned to see the word sport and think a show of athleticism, and it has to be a physical, impressive, healthy feat. And you kind of have to ask yourself at the end of the day, what is the reason that sports are held to this kind of high regard? Is it the physical fortitude of the person playing? Is it the entertainment value? Or is it something of a third notion there? And when you get down to brass tacks with it, I think the answer ends up being sports are only really popular because they provide entertainment. And if that's the case, then why wouldn't esports be held in the same kind of what the fuck? Okay, yeah, dude, I'll take that for sure. Let's go find a battery in our shop. Please have a battery in the shop. There's no battery in the shop, dude. Okay, how are we doing this right here? That is way too good to pass. It's a Tech X on the first floor. If I would have seen that before walking into my item room, I would have definitely custodied the Tech X. Oh, man. We have a 1 shot to do this properly here. We have 1 shot. Part of me thinks it's not going to be here, but we only have 1 bomb anyways. It's equal chance it was not there. This blows, dude. I'm going to take it, obviously. It could stay with us for a long time, but I don't see us keeping Tech X for a very long amount of time here, which is very sad. But if we would have gotten 1 battery, I don't even think it would have been enough to say the very least, but it would have been a dream closer to being found there, I guess. It is depressing, though. What do you got for me here? Okay, we have divorce papers and another Tears Up. Honestly, a decent haul. I think the only last chance we have of anything potentially giving us Custodia Tech X there is if we stole that sack down there. But even doing that, I'm not a huge fan of the idea behind it. What I am going to do instead is spend 3 cents on that heart, go into this room right here, and I'm going to go deep on this. There could be a 48-hour energy pill in here, or a complete full heal. Once again, that's actually really good for us. It is more item fodder to avoid losing Tech X next floor. If this is the first item that we lose, I'm going to be understandably a little bit upset. Let's keep moving on down. But the main reason that sports are held to this high degree is because they're entertainment. And that entertainment, please don't lose it. Oh, we kept it, it looks like. Let's go, dude. That entertainment brings in more money to the school overall. And we can't avoid the money aspect either, because the money that those sports bring in also help to fund other clubs as well as that sport in the same kind of degree there. So sports, they're kind of like a dual benefit. I'd rather like not have that right now. They bring monetary value, entertainment, and school spirit, like the big three of what sports do. Now, what can esports do in that regard? Well, they still bring in money if the tournaments are big enough and the reward pot is also big enough. They could be bringing in school spirit if esports were also bigger. And what was the last thing I just said like 5 seconds ago? It was money, school spirit, and entertainment. And obviously, they are entertaining. I mean, you look at League of Legends, the like international world event of that gets more viewers in the US than the goddamn Super Bowl does. So like esports right now on a professional like out of school level, they're very, very popular. And I kind of have to ask myself, oh my god, sure, we can take this. Is it gonna spawn extra? No, it just spawns that one pedestal. Okay, good coding there, Ella. But like, why aren't they bigger? The only thing holding esports back out of any of those categories is resistance to making it a bigger thing. And I'm gonna admit, when I was in high school, I was in esports for a year, and I thought to myself, this should not be held to the same kind of degree that actual sports are. And I'm not trying to be like an asshole about it. It didn't feel as serious. Actually, I would like that. Let's check out our other like rooms here, or our devil deal and stuff like that first, but I would really enjoy that. But I was like, man, number one, now this is my own personal like experience, by the way. This is like what I went through in esports and why I think that while I was in high school, I was against the cause. The kids in esports were fucking weird. I'm gonna say it outright there. The kids in my esports like group, they were strange. Like kids that you would probably want to like get a restraining order against your daughter for. Like these kids, there was just something about them that was entitled, that was just like straight up really awful to be around. We're taking mom's knife, and we're not taking shade. We have a laser knife right now. That is very impressive. Can we go back and get Bloody Gust? We could try to find a battery in the shop and get double Bloody Gust to avoid. Okay. I'm going to take a big risk here. It did not pay off. We could have had like 4 items, or I guess 2. That was an active item, I believe, in there. We could have had 2 items that would have buffered out losing Tech X, or itself its own copy once again, but no dice there. And I did Smash Bros, by the way, in esports for a year, and it was not ran professionally. Like the committee, I guess, in the southern area of Wisconsin was not really dedicated to like making it work properly. There goes Tech X. Luckily for us, we do get to keep Mom's Knife, which is going to be a huge addition to the rest of our party here. They were not really committed to making this thing run properly, which made getting into lobbies, getting into your matches like really slow. And because our school had like a D, I don't know what the exact phrasing was. It was like a DS something like internet connection. We couldn't connect to other lobbies through the school's Wi-Fi. We had to like unblock some shit. Our first meet was like 2 hours of us trying to set up the actual thing and like an hour of playing on a really laggy connection. So at number 1, it wasn't really formatted properly. Number 2, nobody on my team besides like me and Merm at the time. Dude, what is going on? I wanted both of those. I wanted to have so many. Were any good? Like me and there was one kid named Aiden who was pretty decent, but like everyone was there because they played Smash Bros on their Wii in like 2008, which is fine. But it does make the whole thing feel less legitimate. Imagine if you like went to audition or try out, I guess is a better word, for like, there's cat hair in my nose, what the heck? For like football. And like I would say 80% of your football like colleagues were kids who liked watching it with their dad on Sunday, and they had never played it before in their entire life. That would be kind of embarrassing, right? And I think that kind of lends itself to why esports is not seen as a legitimate form, is because people who play it don't also take it super seriously, and the ones who do take it a little bit too seriously. And again, on a professional level, esports is thriving right now. Rocket League, Smash Bros, like it does really well. But in like a high school, college league setting, it's not working, and I can't figure out what is that vice for it. And again, the only reason I can think of it not working is that nobody wants to allow it to work. Because it does offer these same exact benefits besides, of course, the physical nature of doing sports, just without, again, the physical nature. It's baffling. If sports are all there for entertainment and to bring funding into our school, I think if you would focus on, finally it worked for us, dude. If you would focus on funding esports, you might find yourself in a really good place because, dude, double troll bomb there. What are the odds of that? That is kind of crazy. I also did not go into my item room yet. I probably should, you know, do that. Ooh, you Custodia that. It is a half chance to block contact damage there, which is insanely overpowered for an item, but I do like that a lot. And we do have a card we can't grab in here. You know, go to the shop. You got some stuff brewing in the old casket. You know, grab mom's key for at least 2 keys that can't be taken away, and you move on down. But in my own experience in esports, the kids there were very strange, and it was not really anybody I wanted to be friends with, like, or be acquainted with, I guess is a better word. Not because of, like, their social status or whatever, but mainly because they were just, like, strange kids. And it was kids who really wanted to, like, prove themselves, I guess. Like, they were good at a video game, and that was their calling card, which, by the way, is a great thing. So what does this do? It gives you dice shards based off of... Oh, yeah. That is a I can't drop it. Well, we better not accidentally pop. It keeps going into my first... Whenever I enter a room, it goes into my first slot. What kind of bogus is that? I'm trying to... I can't drop it. It's stuck in my first slot whenever I enter a new room. Watch that. Boom. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous game to be playing right now. I gotta be really careful here and find another card, hopefully very, very soon. These are not worth custodiaing at all. I'm not even gonna pop the book until after the floor is over. I do not want to be seeing a meat cube on this floor. You are huge. You need to go immediately. Holy shit, dude. But to run it back here again, it's important that every single kid, no matter what your interests are, have a way of self-expression. Because there are kids who physically are too nervous or anxious to do sports, and that's entirely fine. It's not for everybody. And the issue is that not doing sports does make it easier for you to be ostracized. And esports would be a great way to, I guess, fix that issue. But the problem is it's already so stigmatized. Even, you know, before it was associated with, like, weird kids, like in my school, it was already like, man, it's just an excuse to play video games. But isn't, like, doing soccer an excuse just to play soccer? Like, you know what I'm trying to say here? It's the only reason it's not being held to a high regard is because nobody wants it to be, or nobody wants to give it the chance. And I understand, like, it's weird. It's a really, really big cultural shift from physical contact, macho sports, but it has its own market, man. You're 100% more likely to find a career out of esports in some degree than you are to go professional in a sport. It's just like statistics, man. I mean, look at this. Doing esports, what does it do for you? Well, even if you don't, like, go gold at every single event you try out for, you don't take home the trophy every single night, you are still building a repertoire. You could pick up streaming with a crowd off of just esports. You could even pick up esports through streaming. If you don't go, like, pro in a sport, and I could be entirely wrong here, there's only so many leagues that offer, like, a full-time or a job-paying position just for playing the sport. When digital media like video games becomes so much more accessible and so much more popular, hello, Flight and also HP Up, you need to take advantage of that. And I feel like by schools not taking esports seriously in this modern setting, you're harming the kids who could be finding careers out of that. And it may not even be through things like it could be just if a kid wants to play esports, they could find a passion of like the graphic design through designing different like logos for their team. They could find it through video editing, like clips for their YouTube channel, like highlights and shit like that. Like they coding through like making custom live stream like browser sources and shit. I mean, it opens up a huge door that's not just limited to just video games. I think it's very naive of a school to be like, or any kind of organization to be like, huh, well, I don't see the benefit of teaching kids to play video games professionally, so we're not gonna take this or fund this seriously. It's a gateway, and the same like sports are also a gateway. I mean, ooh. It stays there, man. You guys seeing that shit down there? Serious. We can't get rid of the D100. It's stuck there forever. If I pop that shit by accident, I'm gonna rewind command myself. This is kind of ridiculous. Goodbye, sir. Don't really care to Deus Custodia either of these things right now. We got something there. I think you should just... We have so much HP right now. Maybe go to your curse room just in case, like, the mark or some shit's in there. Or, you know, that could just be a red key, like, literally sitting right there. Alright, well, we're gonna be Deus Custodia-ing the red key, obviously. Now you just do this, right? Yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna Custodia Mutagen. Damage up. You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I thought it was Toxic Liquid at first, or whatever that one green item is, but did not end up being that. And then can we get a red room? It was not down here. Interesting choice. I guess it could be one up from here, like over to our right. But I don't think we have a battery to charge this up. So what I'm gonna do is fly back to here and hopefully replace my D100 shard with a D6 shard. I'm okay with that, I think. I'm actually very okay with that, and you know what? Why don't we just move on down, get some water in my system too? But again, like, we lose bread there, stapler, divorce papers, and okay, that's fine, that's fine. I understand that, like, sports also add that physical health benefit to it. But you also have to realize that sports are also a physical detriment too. How many concussions are given through football, like high school football, every single year? I knew a kid in my school who got like 3 concussions in one season. That's very, very harmful to you. You could get a concussion or like glaucoma or some shit from playing video games too often, but there are serious health risks with, you know, real life sport. I'm not trying to be like a beta about it either. Like, real life sports are very fun and awesome, but I did quite a few in high school as well, but there is a higher physical risk with those two that can't be ignored. So if you're gonna make the argument that I don't want Dad's bottle ever again, I'm gonna actually, wow, we'll just take this normally here, I think. I don't really care for that right now either. If you're gonna make the argument that the reason that esports can't be taken as seriously, oh my god, thank god we kept Custodia. I'm gonna be taking everything and then Custodiaing Abaddon here, is because they don't offer that physical benefit. You cannot ignore the physical detriment that sports also cause. It's a double-edged sword right there. Okay, take this, take this, take this, and Custodia this, and you are now in a... You're back in here is one thing. You're in a fantastic position now, and the red room was not down here. No big deal to lose out on that. We can get it later on in the floor. But again, it's like a double-edged sword right there. Yes, you could find a lot of physical benefit through being sporty and athletic, but you could also harm yourself through that too. The argument there gets rendered moot like immediately. So it brings us back to, what do sports offer that esports doesn't? And the answer kind of becomes like nothing. In fact, I would argue that esports, on a more general scale, in terms of like jobs and shit like that, it offers more, because it is a very, very small percentage of people that are going to go pro in the sport, right? And it's the same for esports as well. However, I feel like esports and just the internet in general and things like that, it opens up a much wider door. I'm not saying sports don't. I'm just saying that esports, I think, on a surface level, offer up a higher level, a more general area of sports to look at there. And I may be wrong there, but like I think that I'm pretty close on the mark. I think the only thing holding esports back, to end off like this kind of huge tangent here, is not just the schools and programs that refuse to offer or fund it, and also the kids that are in esports too, because there's kind of like this entitlement with esports that like when you're in it, you think that everybody thinks what you're doing is stupid. Because to be completely frank with you, everybody, even like the like athletic kids at my school, thought esports was pretty fucking cool. They were like, that's kind of sick. You can go and play Rocket League and get like a tuition scholarship or some shit from that. A lot of the kids who weren't in esports thought it was pretty cool. But the kids who were actually holy shit rock bottom, who were actually in esports, they felt like the athletic kids thought what they were doing was dumb and would be pretty hostile and like dickish towards them, which is not a cool way to go about things. Because honestly, if the kids who were doing the esports were being nicer to other kids who wanted to get in on the magic in there and like wanted to experiment with esports in general, it would have been a much more bustling thing at my school. The number one thing you can't be doing in situations like this is stigmatizing. If somebody who's never played a game before wants to come and play it, go for it. They may suck ass like the kids at my esports did, but whatever. As long as they're there to have fun, there is nothing wrong with that. And if esports kids would stop gatekeeping their fucking games like they were like a Steam admin, it would be so much more open. There was one kid in my school. His name was Mason. That was a lot of damage right there. Holy shit. His name was Mason. He was a tri-sport athlete. And his senior year, he was going to do esports before COVID happened, obviously. And I was not in esports. I had dropped out like that last season or semester, whatever you want to call it. But I told the teacher, like, hey, this kid, Mason, wants to do esports with us next year. That's pretty fucking cool. Or like this year, sorry. That's pretty freaking cool. And my teacher was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. And a couple of the esports kids at like that meeting overheard it. And they were like that, Mason? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, does he even play video games? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Everybody plays video games. What the fuck are you on about? And the kid was very like against Mason joining esports because he wasn't a real gamer. Like, what the? Imagine like trying to get esports off the ground and like being super passionate about it, only to gatekeep somebody from joining at the very end. What kind of entitlement do you have to make that your reality? That is just like ridiculous. Now, if COVID did not happen, I'm sure Mason would have came for like one meeting and left, because those kids there, they were assholes. They were huge assholes. And they, honestly, there was a point where I wasn't in esports, but I was still. That's not really what I want to be seeing right now. Oh my God, the 1%er. Oh my God. Okay. I see a Cassiopeia over here. I like that. But I also see a Soul, which, personally, Vesta is fire, and Cassiopeia is holy light beams. I'm gonna go for, I don't know if it works with Mom's Knife, but I'm really hoping it does. We're gonna take that. I don't even know why that opened up right there. It might have been one of the buffs from Soul, actually. I'm not sure. And then we can take both of these just regularly and watch this play. Oh, it was not here. I'm getting so bad at these polls right now, man. I gotta be smarter about this shit. But I guarantee you, if Mason would have came to one esports meeting and the kids there would have been like dickish to him like they were to me or about him, he would have left like in a heartbeat. He's not taking that shit from anybody. Mason was a really cool dude. I hate how esports kids will complain about esports not taking off and then gatekeep people from just joining it because they have a general interest. I mean, they're the bane of their own existence because they act so entitled and weird about it. nobody wants to join their club. And it ruins it for everybody. And if you're an esports kid, I'm not talking about you in general. I'm just saying, like, the idea of esports as a whole. I mean, it has been really frustrating to kind of be like, I wouldn't call myself a coach, but I was there for a season just to kind of help monitor. This is how bad it was at my school, dude. The esports coach had asked me after I'd already quit to come to the meeting still just to watch the kids because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like, that's how bad it got. And they were also, like, again, huge assholes. So you can understand my frustration now with the entire program, but if they would just be more open to letting other people enjoy what they're doing, maybe you'd have a more successful program, and maybe it wouldn't be taken so, like, silly-ish. Also, we're gonna make boss rush here. I should have grabbed my fool card. That is honestly my mistake. I wasn't really thinking about the fool card when I entered this room. You're taking this, and I guess you're taking the bone heart to stay alive a little bit longer. I would have given you a spirit heart on the other one too, but not really my desire right now. Polyphemus, huh? We do have rock bottom. So you now have a 20. Oh, we can take even more. We can leave for free, actually. I'm out of here. A 32 damage, sorry, mom's knife with holy homing shots coming out of it. This run has taken off for the better for sure. But I don't know, man. Like, I didn't enjoy esports when I was in it. Honestly, I only enjoyed it when Merm was there and my friend Kale, and that was it. Once those two people, oh my god, if we lose Polyphemus, we don't lose the damage. That's kind of insane. Once they left, I would have much rather been doing anything else. I would have rather been on like a fucking after-school homework detention. But it needs some... For esports to work properly, it's going to need some big, at least where I was from, some big changes. You have to make the lobbies easier to set up. You gotta let the kids decide the rules. For some reason, the teachers were deciding the rules of like the competitive format of Smash, which was like so strange. I mean, they were trying to introduce like banning like Dark Pit or some shit, which was back before like he was even a very meta viable character. It didn't really make any sense besides the teachers thought the character was too annoying, so they banned him. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? You're not gonna Custodia anything. You have too many broken hearts right now, and keep on going down. So it should be more of a kid-ran organization, but the teacher should pick the kid, and it has to be the least like asshole kid out of the entire bunch, because there are quite a look at my pathing. You guys seeing this shit right now? I just went straight up into my boss fight. It's gonna be, oh my god, you know what, I will actually take this and hopefully find a way to do some nice sacrificing stuff. We're gonna walk out one room away from our boss fight. Look at that. The teacher should pick the kid that they know is not like a weirdo and also like knows what they're doing, and that kid runs that sport. That is, and I know it sounds like it's gonna cause issues, but that is honestly like the only way to make some shit like this work, because of just the reputation that esports kids have. It may sound like I'm being very mean to esports kids. I'm not trying to be. This is, again, just in my experience here and what I think. I'm going to go to Hush, fuck it. What I think is proper for it. We might die down here. We don't have that much HP. I kind of just wanted to come down because our run right now is absolutely cracked. We literally have no keys. Why did I do that? Red rooms. It's not working. How do I get keys? I can maybe bomb this for something. Don't be mean. Okay. Money. You take this. You take this. You hope that in some degree Hush can drop you keys. I do have a red key, but I don't believe red keys work in the blue womb anymore. They used to kind of work. I don't think that is the case much more. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I guess to end it off, like, if you're in esports, don't gatekeep esports. You're the reason it's not doing well. It should be doing way better than it is, but again, like, it's that entitlement, it's that fear of being an outcast, of like just doing it in general, that brings it down. A lot of kids are very open to the idea, especially in modern times. It's just the parents and the adults that don't really want it happening, which I guess I understand. Like, it's a generational thing, and hating esports isn't a fucking crime. Like, you can dislike esports if you want, if you're like, oh, it doesn't offer that same kind of like physical aptitude that football does. But I think it's kind of a silly opinion to hold. And as someone who used to be a former esports hater in high school, I do recognize the benefits now as a content creator and also just as a person that if it was less stigmatized, it would have been a really good way for kids in my school to kind of help express their hobbies in ways that sucks, in ways that were at least positive towards their overall development in terms of jobs and shit like that. No key. Can you not use like red key just to like open shit up? Come on, buddy. I want to go in here so bad. I'm not going to take anything. I just kind of want to see. I spawn keys. Spawn key. 5.3. Let's spawn some keys here. I just want to see what would have happened had we gone into any of these rooms here. Member card. That is an interesting thing to hold on to. Infestation, or no, intruder, brother Bobby or some shit like that. Play-Doh on milk. Nothing is really super important there. And here would have been the tiers up for coins, little plum guy, Spelunker's hat, and tier game, which I guess wouldn't have done much either. In these chests would have been, I'm just kind of curious, you know? You've tickled my fancy. Would have just been like nothing. Yeah, like literally nothing worth it. And what would a member card held for us? I'm not going to, again, do anything with it. It's going to offset our item loss by 1, but sure. Just a book. Yeah, you know, we didn't lose out on much down there. So I'm okay. Let's remove member card to make it fair again. Hold on. You guys are yelling at me. I hear it. Remove member card. Goodbye. And now we can move on up to our cathedral path and continue on with the run. You don't really get those sub 30 hush kills too often, do ya? I guess Soul makes that a hell of a lot easier. We didn't lose any items this floor. I've never seen that happen before. I wonder if taking away member card caused that or not. I'd feel kind of bad if it did, but either way, with Rock Bottom, Mom's Knife, Polyphemus, there is no way we lose this. I mean, with the HP value, potentially, but we don't have much utility that benefits us as late in the game, so I'm going to be confident in saying that if we lose every item besides Mom's Knife, Polyphemus with Rock Bottom right now, I would argue that there's probably a 0% chance we lose. Now, what did our school offer for esports? Well, it's quite simple. Rocket League, League of Legends, and Smash Bros for a couple years. Are any of those sports fun to watch? Not in my opinion. I watch a bit of Smash Bros, but only because one of my good friends is a professional commentator for it, that being Script JCR. He is the only guy that can get me to actually care about Pro Smash. Aside from that, it's always this weird, like, this is not the pro player's fault. This is the community's fault. But professional Smash is so hard to watch. It's just constant complaining about this character is too gimmicky. This character is X and Y. And if a pro Smasher says that, I'm bound to agree with them because they've played the game for a living. But the general community will be like, we have to ban this character because they have X gimmick. Like, I don't know if that's true. Wow, what an awful chest this was. But we can take everything here because we have no risk of doing so. Do not give me a health down. It was a health down and a range up. That was not really worth it. I take this, and grab this. And honestly, man, just bum rush it. You have no reason not to. You can even use red key to get there faster if you really want to. But I don't care for Pro Smash that much anymore because it's just the game's like dead to me. And the community is very hard to watch and observe from the outside. I'm not a big fan of Rocket League. I have watched it like once when Northern Lion played it a long time ago back in the day with his pals. That was pretty fun to watch. But again, I wasn't super into it, and I don't know much about it. And League of Legends is League. Nobody cares for League. Let's be real there. League is a bad game. Even the players who play League hate the game. So that sells that to me. I will never watch or enjoy watching League, I don't think. Holy shit. Ever. Give me this. What's in this room? We're Beelzebub now. Okay. I got a feeling. It was a wrong feeling. That's okay, though. That's fine. Ooh. Double magnet? In a secret room? I'm just gonna put a bomb right here. Okay, the bomb got pushed by... Oh, it's freaking Gutsy Baby pushing my bombs everywhere once again. He's back for revenge, boys. This is not his last time showing up here. I don't really care about that. I do want to find my red room, but if it's going to be super far out of the way, then so be it. I don't really care too much anymore. There are going to be no special rooms on this floor, so it kind of lowers our chance of successfully locating it. There it is. Found it immediately. Eat your words right there. Eat my own words, I guess. You're dead in one hit. Goodbye. Open the goddamn door. Oh, this could be a huge room. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to come back here with a charge. I want to open up all of these chests first. I know we're on the very last floor of the game, but if we do find a way to go to Delirium and we have like a really powerful build, it's going to serve us right. We do have a dice shard for that. We could be seeing a Mom's Knife Brimstone run. We could be seeing a Mom's Knife, even Sulfur, I would take at this point. The world is kind of like our little baby oyster. Oh, even more items. Eden's, that's why we explore the full floor, boys. Eden's freaking blessing. Hell yeah, brother. Just take it all. Don't Custodia anything anymore. It's not worth it. You will leave this. You will not lose Eden's blessing, I promise you. And I think even if you do lose it, you still keep the benefit going into our next run here. I just got to do one more room. I just got to do a single room. There we go. There we go. Hello. No items spawned. You can go back here, open up your last red chest, and then we'll dice shard into, yeah, we're going to Custodia this at the very least. There's that. Here's some more raw damn. We actually do want to lose Athema, so we lose the curse thing. And everything else here is obviously top notch. Now we have Mom's Knife, Brimstone, Proptosis, Polyphemus, Cricket's Body. You really can't make a run better than a good old Tainted Job run. I know he's a very strong and powerful character, but it's good to have those guaranteed powerful runs occasionally. It gives me time to banter and talk about things like esports and severity and the Industrial Revolution and its consequence of the human race, etc., etc. Void Portal. Void Portal? No portal, meaning our run is over. If you enjoyed the run of my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. In the meantime, guys, I have been BD1P. Peace out and goodbye.